So we're officially recording. Steve didn't warn you. He was going to do that.
I said, let's get this ball rolling. We're gonna.
In the corner.
Hey, guys.
Matt speaks. Oh, it says it on your end too.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Ah.
Censorship. But that's good because we were just mini catching up, and that's something we want to talk to everybody about. Is like the quarantine and how you're coping, because we've been like properly quarantined, not properly, but like the most accommodating jobs. Like Eva, probably that. I know the dates, 'cause I'm bad with dates, only because I started on St. Patty's, my new job, and I was supposed to start on Monday, and they were like, listen, wait till Tuesday. They shipped me a laptop, and I've never been in the building other than the job interview. I don't even know where I sit. Couldn't go in if I wanted to. And then Eva was still going to work that week.
I almost positive like the next day.
Yeah, it might have been like Wednesday. We were like, no more. She told her boss she wasn't comfortable. And then we've been home ever since. And we don't like, I go grocery shopping. Eva's come a couple times, but
yeah,
only if it's late. And I'm interested because you both are in a much different scenario.
We actually, this has been literally, I want to say one of the worst experiences of my life.
Sure.
I think,
Yeah.
and I feel like this is gonna sound so bad. I'm the only thing I'm happy about right now is that I'm not pregnant, because I'm like, I think I'd have to leave my job. Like, I feel like there's a PT at Moss right now that's pregnant, and good for her. Like, she's handling. She's not on the COVID unit, and she's not with us where she's getting exposed as much. But I don't think I could do it. I was so anxious, healthy pregnant, that like I don't think I could handle like going in every day to the situation I'm going into. Like, I feel like if I was accommodated, I would be like, I mean, I got the flu when I was like 9 months pregnant with Maeve, and I barely.
Maybe you were patient zero.
Maybe I'm patient zero. No, Jack was definitely patient zero.
Because your situation, like you are a physical therapist, you see patients that there was COVID on your floor. Matt, you work in the hospital. What do you do, janitor?
Doing whatever I do.
We've been looking at this from the perspective of like, we shouldn't see people because they might infect us. And what you were just kind of mentioning is like, your debate is almost like we might infect them. You're the inverse of that.
Like, a lot of people, like, honestly, I feel like I'm less scared of everybody else. I'm more scared I'm like carrying it. So like when I got exposed a few times at work, I'll go to Wawa and get my free coffee. I'm all about the hospital free perks for the workers. Like, they're like, oh, get free shoes. I'm like, out the perks. So like, I'll get my free coffee at Wawa. But since it's like, then when I got exposed, I stopped until I hit my 14 days, and then I'll go back. I don't food shop. He food shops because now he's back in the OR. But when he was doing temperature checks, like, he wasn't really getting exposed at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the harder thing was just juggling the kids between the two of us.
And that was like what you were saying. That was the hard part. Like, because my parents watched them, and when it all first started, like trying to explain it to my mom, like, this will be a fun thing. Like she was like, you don't want me coming over because you think I'm going to infect the kids, and it's like, we think that we're like, you're the person that's going to die, not them.
Yeah, right.
Like, we're going to
hospital. Like, you're bringing it home.
You will die.
Yeah,
and I guess that speaks to broader themes. Like, you don't think of it that I feel like it's hard for them. Like, trying to explain to my mom, like, you're the old person now, like your grandma.
Yeah,
like,
your mom. His mom though is like in amazing health though. Like, she's in later 60s, but she's like, no, like barely. I think she said her only comorbidity is high cholesterol. Like, she has no hypertension, she has diabetes. She's like totally healthy, and she's like I come home and she's crawling on the floor and Jack's on her back and she's holding me. Like, she's a rock star. Like,
yeah, but like at what point? Like,
right, but like we don't want to test it though. Like, we don't like see how she does.
And at some point she has to let go of like,
yeah,
like I know she's been mom forever, but like,
I think, and like
70.
My parents are like, I don't think my parents want to get it, but like I think they're trying to be respectful towards us because we're so anxious about giving it to someone. So like, I think if I said to my dad, you can come over, he would just come over. But like, I think we're being like really strict.
He probably breaks in sometimes and doesn't tell you.
He like FaceTimes Jack regularly, and Jack like
every day he's like, I can just come down.
Come on.
I don't care.
And then the other thing he'll do is he'll come and be like, I'll just pick them up for the weekend. I'll take them and keep them. And I'm like, Dad, I was exposed. He went, yeah, but they're fine. He was like, do you want me to take them because you were exposed? I was like, they're also exposed. Like,
I feel like it's getting really hard. Like, now I don't think it was it was hard in March, but like now it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's so head versus heart now because like, you know,
Yeah.
like my mom has to come back. Like I have to go back to regular scheduled work.
I mean,
she's coming back on June 3rd. Like that's just
I thought about taking like
how it is.
a leave of absence from work, or like, so he worked weekends and did overnights to accommodate us, but then my work furloughed all the weekend staff, and they had us do an alternate schedule where we cover weekends as part of our normal 5-day work week and have a day off during the week. But I can't do that when he's overnights because then he never sleeps. So I like said, can I do a half day on a weekend to accommodate it and do a half day during the week? So since my last weekend off was January, so I've been doing 6 days a week since then. And then when he started this overnight, like I would come home from work on Friday, he'd be on this like porch, and then he would be like, hey, and get in his car, and I'd come in, and then I was alone. And then he'd come home the next morning on Saturday, and I'd go off to work, and then I'd come home, he'd sleep. I would take the kids outside for hours so he could sleep, and then he would go overnight, and then on at least Sundays I'd be off with
I'm
them.
shaking my head so much.
So it just,
Wow.
I mean, parenting, dude. I feel like we never realized how spoiled we were with our childcare help until this happened. Like, I mean, Matt kept saying, I'm so proud of us. And I was like, stop saying I'm going to kill you. Like, I'm not proud. I'm so angry. I'm so tired. Like, but like, I mean, we made it work so far. Like, Mrs. Smart keeps saying to us, like, I cannot believe you guys have been able to do this for this long.
I know.
Like, I mean, it is what it is. But, I mean, I think I just miss my family. I think they miss, like, he's desperate to hang out with. Like, Maeve doesn't know what the heck's going on. She's happy-go-lucky. Like, she doesn't care about anything. But Jack, like, is so desperate to, like, talk to anyone or, like, see anyone. Like, the UPS comes and, like, they, like, run to the door and they, like, wave and they're like, hi, I'm Jack. This is me. Like,
you had to reacclimate Maeve that other people exist.
Yeah.
I know. She, like,
it's weird.
Yeah, she's gonna, like, she's pretty easygoing in general, so I'm not as worried about her. But now we're worried Jack's gonna be socially awkward because, like, we're so used to, like, don't go near that person. So he's, like, really far away, like, waving.
It's weird. There's a lot of anybody with kids in that, like, age range. You said FaceTime a minute ago. I just remember Nathan FaceTimed me, like, 2 days ago. For, like, 7 minutes, he showed me, like, the Goop stuff that he was playing with, and then I guess his iPad died. He was just gone. I called him back and he didn't answer, and I was like, he's just Pat's kid, classic.
Yeah.
But we went to see Pat one day. We just wanted to go out for a drive, and Pat was home, so we, like, drove and just kind of parked at the edge of the driveway, and they were up in their driveway. And the kids, like, showed me the backyard, and, like, Nathan knew the deal, because on Pat's house, there's this, like, narrow path to the backyard on the one side. And, like, Molly went through, and then I went through, and I was kind of standing, like, 10 feet from, like, the area. He's like, Uncle Steve, can you go over by the shed? And I was like, all right. And so he could, like, have a distant thing. And I was like, is this weird for you guys? And he's like, it was at first. Now it's kind of normal. It's like
a weird thing. We're going to have to break them all up. Like,
especially the little ones, like Owen.
Yeah, like, you can go
Jack.
over there. You can go say hi to, like, your grandfather.
I'm, like, just praying that this isn't that long that it's gonna be, like, such an impression. Like, I feel like 2 months can, like, kind of go by a little faster, but, like, this lasts for, like, 6 months to a year. Like,
it's tough too because, like, Maeve's still pretty young, but, like, with Jack and, like, even, like, you know, like, Pat and Jen's kids a little bit older, but, like, the preschool age I feel like is such a vital time of, like, learning, and, like, they get some structure and, like, you know, like, they get acclimated to that, and then all of a sudden it's just, like, taken away, and, like, everybody that we know that has kids is, like, trying to manage, like, working and doing that, and, like, you know, you can't do it all, and so it must be so challenging, I would imagine, to, like,
I think it's really weird. It's weird for Jack, the 3-year-old, because you have to, like, he knows things are closed, but you can't tell him why. And he wanted to go to the playground, and I had to say, it's closed. And he says, it's closed? And I go, yeah. He says, people get sick? And I say, yeah. I said, maybe it'll open soon. And, you know, he wants to go on the rides down the shore.
oh my God.
And he keeps talking about later. He'll say, can we go on the rides? And I go, yeah, but when it's open. He says, later in summer? And I say, it's just what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the kids in that age range, it's like really tough because they like, even if you're around people, like you can do a kind of distant thing, but kids don't get that.
I know. And
That's
like,
the thing. Like,
yeah,
that's why we didn't want people would be like that. Like, can we come over and like her dad? Like, can I just stand in the yard with him?
No,
Like, he's not gonna stay away from me.
Yeah.
he won't. He
Or
doesn't
he'll
get
freak
it.
out.
Or
I'm
like,
gonna be so upset.
even when I come home
Yeah.
from work, like I try to change, and if I don't change before I leave the building, I change the second I get home. And if I come in, he like just instinctively like wants to come up and hug and kiss me, and I always like stop, and then he looks like legitimately upset, and then I'm like, Mommy's all dirty, I'm just gonna go change, and I'll be fine. And like now he's okay with it, but the first few times I did it, I like felt awful because
Yeah.
like, or if I come in from the COVID unit, like we like act like I literally am like about to explode, and
No one touched
like
me.
holding everyone, don't touch her.
Yeah.
And then like Jack will like pick up something I put down, and Matt's like, wash your hands. It's like
Yeah.
oh,
That poor kid has heard me scream, "Wash your hands" so many times. Come running at him.
It'll be a good washer. Yeah, it's weird, especially right now. Like you said, head versus heart. Like it's people are starting to like it's warmer weather. It's just been long enough. Really ease on all this, though. Like nothing has changed. Like literally nothing has changed. So
Yeah.
I think that like I don't know if it's like I'm like frustrated too because like I feel like me and him are being so intense about it, and I don't know if it's because we have to, and also our situation doesn't really allow us to do much of anything else. We like don't have any time together, let alone time to go anywhere or do anything. It's not that anything's open. But like my sister was down the shore this past weekend, and then I saw that like thing on YouTube of like the stream of like Ocean City boardwalk, and like a bunch of people told me like they were on the beach and no one's wearing masks. And I saw people on like Instagram and like Facebook posting with no masks and stuff, and I was like legitimately angry. Like I am not really like super opinionated. Like what you do, I don't judge. Whatever, it doesn't bother me or affect me. But like that kind of did like where I feel like, are we living in like some weird bubble? Like, are we on some weird quarantine or just the two of us? Like, because I was like, what the heck? Like, I feel like, and a lot of people keep saying like, oh, I'm over it.
Yeah.
So am I. Like, but
You just
here we
should
are.
talk.
Yeah. We were having the same conversation where I'm like, I feel like we're being like overly protective and like, yes, I'm pregnant, but like, then it makes me feel like we're like the weirdos because we still aren't, like we had like our parents, like a distance kind of thing, but like even that, my mom's like, what are you comfortable with? Like she had a mask on the whole time. We're like so far apart, like,
Right.
but like I've always been a better safe than sorry person, but it makes you feel when like you see all these people doing all this stuff and you're like, are we the crazy ones?
Yeah. I feel like pregnancy, you just like, it's not you, it's like the baby. So like I feel like I like even stupid stuff. Like I was so over like hyper with food and like what I know some people say like you can have a glass of wine. First off, who has one glass of wine?
Yeah, that would be not that cool for me.
Yeah, like I'd rather have
not worth it.
And then the other thing is like why? Like I just feel like I can handle like 9 months without like a glass of wine or like just like even like just sushi and stuff. Like I don't feel like I like the fish I would get nervous with. Like I just like I'm just gonna hold off. And like but I know some people where they say don't eat deli meats and stuff and they're like, I don't care, I eat deli meats all the time. So I feel like it's kind of just whatever you're comfortable with. But I just like I don't know. I mean when I got sick with me, like I got the flu shot, I was like, I'm always washing my hands at work and stuff. I have no idea how I got it. But like what everyone says though is that like the baby's always fine. It's you that suffer because the baby steals like literally everything from you, and then like that's why you like that's why it's for you. So like I feel like even if God did happen, the baby would probably be fine. Struggling.
Yeah, I mean I do feel like at this point being like that now like we're officially in the third trimester, I feel like an ease of like obviously it's way too early. Like every time I get like a little cramp, I'm like, stay in there. Don't come out.
Stand up. I feel like I like do you have a belly?
Oh, there's a belly.
No.
That's how. Yeah, but like my mom was saying like in hospitals
not
like
take a baby out. Like
but they would like if I got it, like especially as it gets closer. What? I'm like still talking.
I was like, I feel like you're Beyonce baby out's gonna like come out and be like, oh yeah, I was pregnant.
Yeah, right. By the way, surprise. But yeah, like if I got it, then and I give birth, they could like take the baby from us. Like that's awful.
Well, my one coworker her husband worked at CHOP, and then he was on the labor and delivery unit at Penn.
Mhm.
And he said it's shocking how many moms have come in with COVID, like the amount that have come in with COVID. And he said 50% of them are completely asymptomatic, and they only know they had COVID because they tested them when they came in.
Oh
And
my
then
gosh, they were testing.
they were testing them when they were coming in. And then the other 50%, he said that
I feel like they'll
had
probably test you
COVID,
no matter what.
Yeah.
like were like the babies were totally fine.
Yeah.
And he said he hadn't seen like in his like I think he was there for like 6 weeks or something. He said he hadn't seen a single baby that was born from COVID mom with any complications.
Yeah.
So it's like a good thing because that like kind of means that like they're doing okay. The transmissions obviously they're getting them out before like
Yeah.
problems. But I feel like I just think it's more scary all the people who don't even know they have it and just like chilling.
Just pass it along.
Yeah, I wonder how much worse it's gonna get as people like go to the beach for Memorial Day and like all that. Like as the weather opens up a little bit and people start like relaxing that.
Yeah. I tried Googling yesterday, like reopening and rise in cases to see if there's been like any.
It's 2 weeks away, so we'll find out in 2 weeks that there's there's an uptick. You know
I
what
feel
mean?
like too, like, because I know people are like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to this party, or like people are planning stuff, and like we're kind of like, should we see our parents or should we not see our parents? Like, we're just like at a different stage. But like, I feel like I said earlier, like I'm not trying to judge anyone, and I feel like I don't want to be judged if I don't do what people think is supposed to be done either, because there's really not a good rule book. Like,
Well, the circumstance too, like your circumstance because of Jack, because he's just like little enough that he doesn't get it to like not go like interact.
yeah,
And your jobs and the risk, you know what I mean? Where like if my parents come over, we can control them for the most part and us and make sure that we're 10 feet apart and we're outside and we're not, it's just like and neither of us of the four of us particularly interact with anybody in that high risk. So it's just the perfect storm for like, if we had your circumstances, I probably would do the same stuff where like way less interaction, even though it's been limited.
Yeah.
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 So for you guys, it's better like when the baby comes, because I feel like that just it does suck.
Come
like,
August.
Yeah, come August. I hope like for like so that you can like celebrate with people, but also that you're not constantly terrified either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, because there's all like I remember being such like so anxious. Like I remember being in the kitchen and you're obviously not sleeping a lot, and Matt was sitting on the couch, and he like was holding Jack, and he pulled the leg rest to come up, and it was like really loud, and it kind of jumped up and he made a noise. I swore he dropped the baby, and I like lost my mind because like you're tired and you're stressed and you like don't want anything to like happen.
Yeah.
I mean, that explains the speech.
Well, that gets a flu shot, and we know vaccines, the side effects. Yeah, I've seen the YouTube videos.
There's a guy that comes in my work every night at 3 a.m. He'll tell you all about it.
Did you ever find out what that guy does?
He works in the cafeteria somewhere.
Okay.
I'm gonna as little as I can know about him. I know his name.
I just needed to know he wasn't like the guy deciding on how we treat anything.
He's just like, I mean, he's making your food. Who knows?
Yeah, which much respect.
Hey,
But I forget that the hospital is made up of like people that aren't just doing brain surgery,
yeah,
which is mostly robots.
all robots.
True.
Yeah. All right. What a good topic.
What a good intro. We didn't even like introduce that. We didn't say how you guys know each other. Well, how we all know each other. But it's you guys.
It's
We're just bathing in COVID.
You said let's get the ball rolling.
Yeah.
Really, the important topic is
I saved it because nobody watches these. I can make the same joke in every episode that to the future kid. I go, oh, this is Matt. You don't know him because of that falling out we had. It'll be true for somebody, right? Like statistically, it's going to be true for one of these people I introduced that way.
these jokes.
I watch him and I laugh every week.
My man.
So, how about we talk about how we all know each other?
Sure.
So, given your medical condition, Matt, you have a better memory than I do for the specific. What's your first memory of me? Because mine of you is like the beginning of this podcast.
I don't know. I thought about this because I knew this question would come up. I have 2 memories of you. One is definitely 5th grade. One is I don't know what grade, but I feel like earlier, but I don't know. 5th grade memory, you were I don't know. The Backstreet Boys were pretty new. I guess boy bands were new. Future child, little Matthew. Boy bands. We'll explain. We'll stop now and explain boy bands.
I'm gonna get a glass of wine while I explain boy bands because I
We might name this kid Backstreet.
My earliest, I just remember you saying about the Backstreet Boys, I don't like them, but their music is awesome. And that's
only 50% true.
Cut the memory.
I like them.
I don't remember what happened after that.
They're back. The Backstreet Boys concert got canceled today.
And then, oh yeah,
Got canceled?
Yeah, it was supposed to be in July, which I wasn't surprised about, but
They'll be back.
And my other memory, we were in the bathroom and we were all peeing in the urinals, and this is at Resurrection of our Lord school.
Grade school, so we're in 8th grade at the most, but likely less.
I think it was 3rd or 4th grade, but it could have been 5th grade.
You guys go to school first, or we?
Yeah, technically. And technically, we didn't talk except for these 2 instances I'm talking about.
Wait, you went to like
We went to grade school together. So from like grade 1 through 8, and we went to high school together.
Yeah, and then we were in the bathroom. I was peeing in the urinal. I turned around. You were standing next to a window in the bathroom, which faced I forget which street it is, but it's where your grandparents lived across the street. And you said, "Hey, come here, look out the window." And I did. And you said, "See that house with the flag?" And I went, "Yeah." You went, "That's my grandma's house." I went, "Cool." Cut memory. And I think you were doing that to everybody. I think single file past the window. "Hey, stop. See that house with the flag?"
That's so cute.
That's my grandma's house.
Yeah, it sounds right. I don't have the memory of that.
To be fair to you, I was impressed. I thought that was really cool.
Statistically, like you said earlier, most of those people he can make the same joke to because he would not interact with them.
I'm so used to no one listening to me, so
I think we became friends when we were like friends. When we were
capital F?
Friends. When we were 17.
Yeah, our origin story, I don't my memory now is I don't know if I remember it or if I just know the story because we keep recanting them. But I remember, no offense, I thought you remembered that my dad brought like turtles to school or something. That was a memory I thought that I don't know if you were in that class, but that
wasn't me.
One of those school things.
Would have been cool. Wish I was in your class.
That seems like a Pat Kane memory right there.
Yeah.
I don't we didn't know each other super well in grade school. I remembered that you were the kid who peed his pants way too late. It was like 7th or 8th grade.
7th grade.
You had like an aneurysm, which also might explain your condition.
Wasn't the last.
No fault in it now. At the time, it was just big news.
It was huge news.
And also, nothing happened.
I'm totally over it, though. Is that a good fit?
In high school, the other Steve, Spader, which is why I was Steve H forever and still am in some instances, was in all my classes. So I started hanging out with him, and he brought us out. And the first time I remember hanging out with you was on the train tracks at Ron and Dungan behind the CVS.
Yes.
And you were drunk on the train track and afraid of trains, which was a funny combination.
They would come by and Spader would throw rocks at them, and they were like oil tanker trains. And
remember when Pat didn't drink?
Yeah, Pat didn't drink.
That was full straight edge. Like he wouldn't touch the stuff.
So when you guys started coming out, I don't know. I guess because you guys met.
Wait.
Right?
Huh?
Is that when you guys used to hang out with Tina? When you used to come up here?
Yeah. I met you through Tina.
So that's the segue because we were right at probably like junior, senior year of high school, and Matt was on the swim team, and he'd meet people at like different swim meets. Right. So he knew the people from Archbishop Wood, where Eilise went to high school, and that connected us into that like group of friends.
Yeah.
Because Matt, they used to talk. So you were the nice guy. Pat King was like the slug tonguer. And
the bad boy.
So he used to make
That's a
out
whole
with people and then just leave his tongue
He
and
like
not move it. Like he would like, like this bad talk about
I think that was been done.
we just do that.
we just jumped from Pat doesn't touch the stuff, won't drink, to he was so drunk his tongue didn't touch it. But
And then
there's
that was
some
like
good
the
stuff in there.
player. So like at lunch, I was like, I had those friends, but I like didn't really even hang out with them that much on the weekends, and they used to talk about who Matt was dating each week, which was like somebody new apparently, and we would like jump.
That was somehow the heartthrob.
The actual answer was no one. 0 people.
So like they used to all
0.
talk about who he was actually dating now, and I was just friends with all of them.
No one.
That's like the story of your life, though, where somebody goes like, "No, you were dating that person for 2 months." You're like, "All right."
And then I became friends with you guys, but you literally, our prom table was Matt with Lisa Mahalik. You were with Meg Druding. No, Meg. What's her?
Dalton.
Yeah, that's it. And then who else? I know that's Anne's friend. I couldn't remember. And then Pat Kane was with Tuna. And then I begged you guys to get me a date, and you promised me Mike Bain, and then never produced. And I had to bring some rando from Acme, and it was awful.
I think that was Mike's fault.
Mike Bain watches this. This is their chance to air your grievance. He knows he messed up.
It was Mike's fault.
He usually comes through.
He promised me Steve Spader or Mike Bain, and you told me to go
Spader
with.
was there.
No.
Spader went with Jen.
Yeah, eventually, and Drew. No, he wasn't. That was junior prom. Who else was at our table? Drew and Danielle Vogel. Yeah.
Wow, high school, huh?
Well,
So that time
throwback.
it's Steve.
Good times. I remember the first, like, so you two were like besties because everybody loved you, and you were making the rounds, not actually dating people, but they thought they were. You had a real complicated high school career into college. But I remember being at DeSales the night that you two crossed over into love, and it was big news. It was like your pants in the 7th grade big.
Yeah.
Anne and I were like,
That's cute.
Yeah.
and then we go to Rosemont, and you were showing everybody your Rose Monster, and it was like, what a weird, messy life we've
What a
led.
life. What a life we live.
Here we are.
And then you got, when Eva met you at like Mad Max, she like vowed to come to your wedding. That was like her
Yeah, you guys
initial
had,
The
like,
goal.
first time I met you was at Kitchen Bar.
It's true.
Very first time.
Yeah, we actually we went to Mad Max because Mike and Erica got engaged, and that's when I met them.
Are you sure?
And you guys had a rule that it had to be like a girlfriend if there was a date. And I said,
Well, we actually
Come
had
to
a
the
no.
wedding.
It was a no ring, no bring for our wedding, except for bridal party.
wow, I got the exception.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It worked out.
It actually worked out so well because I attended all your weddings.
Yeah.
Literally, I came right on time.
Like, you got right in.
Right
Made
on
it to
time.
all the
Into
weddings.
the wire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lucky you.
Dan.
It's like actually sad
Every
sometimes
wedding.
that I feel like all the big weddings are over.
We don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you've got,
Like famous,
Also.
but like I mean, like friend group wise, I feel like most of.
all the good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have lots of weddings in the future.
Yeah.
Corey and Kate, shout out. They'll never watch this for sure. Just bought a house together. So that's a wedding.
But with somebody else, right?
Yeah. You just bought a house with a friend and your
I
future
actually
husband?
think Corey bought the house.
Yeah, I think Corey bought
That
that.
was sexist.
No, I think that's like how I
Just
texted
kidding.
Erica about it. Their kitchen
Tomorrow's
looks
my birthday. Shout out to the twins.
Yo, twin shout out. Favorite
Shout out.
twins.
Happy birthday, twins.
Oh,
Email us tomorrow.
smart.
Oh, I was like,
What
how did I not know about this? I feel like that's trivia that would have stuck in my brain someday. Like the day before. Like if I know Emma has the same birthday as Doug Lindley, you'd think I could remember that the twins are the day before you. I'll try to program that one in.
For me, it was like big news when I was like 11 or whatever. It was
You excited for your birthday parade on Friday?
yeah, can't wait. Can't wait. I bought him a cool gift. I'm gonna make a sign for myself.
You know, a gift.
Well, Pat told us to get him like a digital gift.
Oh,
I'm gonna get him. Yeah, he's gonna get some PlayStation money. I just wanted to throw something up.
yeah.
It was messed up. I think he told me to my face like a couple weeks ago what he wanted for his birthday, and I don't remember what it was. I went, "Oh yeah," and I like,
Hopefully, it was digital PlayStation money.
Whatever it'll be.
I'm gonna buy him a Lego game because they were awesome.
He doesn't know he's getting a PlayStation, though, theoretically, right?
Correct.
So,
Cool. Spoiler, I hope he doesn't watch this episode before Friday.
Yeah, I'll text it to his iPad. Like,
Yeah.
hey, bud. He's one of our few subscribers.
So,
All right,
we got the introductions out of the way.
in the middle, like a good storyteller.
Yeah. And
We did our topic.
we did our topic, which is what it's like to be a frontline worker during the COVID crisis and have 2 kids. So you guys are killing it. And we usually end with questions for you about parenting.
Yeah, we have a smattering. I always like pick and choose. Why don't you go random, like down the question list? See what feels right.
What surprised you about being a parent?
I guess mine is a 2-part answer. So this is going to be your first 4-hour.
I'll cut one of the parts.
I don't want to scare you with one of my answers, though. All right, one was just how anxious I could become.
Great. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Which is shocking because we talk about this all the time. His anxiety has like skyrocketed from.
I got much more anxious when they came. I did, and I know you get anxious, but I was never anxious before. I feel like people switch around.
What makes you anxious? If you don't mind sharing.
Here's my personal thing. So, you know me, freewheeling, living life, loving it. Before kids, I feel like, I don't know, before kids, this is how I kind of conceptualize it. I never really, I feel like before kids, I never felt like I had really a thing to lose, you know? No, even you. Like, one of us is going to go someday first. Or we'll just go out together.
Because he said this to me before.
Yeah, we'll go out together
Your heartstrings.
when we're tandem skydiving and the chute doesn't open. We'll go together.
You worried about losing Eilise. I remember those nights when she would take off her ring, you'd rip your shirt off.
I don't have my ring on, by the way, because I'm not allowed to wear it for work. So
I don't mean outside of.
I don't wear my ring.
now that we're talking about not wearing your ring.
I don't mean it like that. I mean like.
Yeah.
Fine. But and like anything, like if I lost my job and it was me and her, we'll live in a van. Who cares? But then Jack came along, and it was a very intense. Now there's something to lose. That's morbid, but it is. It was what it was. So like, I would just, like she said, like when she thought I dropped him on his face, like I don't know. I had a hard time. I feel like some people can ease right in. Like I remember Mike Bain telling me like to send the baby, have the baby go to the nursery because I'm gonna hear him like go boop, boop, while he was sleeping, and I'm gonna freak out. And he was right, except I feel like for me it was like cranked to 11. Like I don't know why. I had to bring that down a notch.
He also has to talk it out. Like, he has to talk it out. Like,
yeah,
Jack touched this.
Jack
Do
came
you
in.
think?
She next to our bed. This happened right after I texted you. Next to our bed, in case of intruder, she has wasp spray to kill an intruder.
With my switchblade, which Jack didn't pick up.
I was putting
Don't
Maeve's
bring it out.
pajamas on, and Jack came walking into Maeve's room holding the wasp spray
In his mouth.
that he found. And so I wigged out because then you say to Jack, "Did you spray this? Did you eat this?" And he goes, "Yup, I ate it." And he didn't eat it. He just thinks that's the answer. I don't know if he thinks that's the answer I want. I don't know. Stuff like that. That was a real problem for me tonight.
So I talk him through like.
But like she's like,
it.
yeah,
he would have tasted it.
You know what I
He
mean?
would have known he had it.
The logical part of my brain, like, I know he didn't eat the wasp spray. I know he didn't spray it. I'd be choking. But still, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was one. And then 2, I forget 2 now. What was the question?
What's the most surprising thing of becoming a parent?
2 was, I forget. 2, I was surprised at how I don't know how to word this. I'm a very lazy individual. I like kicking back. I was surprised at how busy I became and how I don't know how I was able to.
Mhm.
Are you guys feeling this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually good to hear because we always say that Steve married Matt, and that answer made me feel that you did.
Yeah,
It goes
yeah.
both
I'm
ways.
very anxious. I'm
I
like,
send
that's
600 Snapchats a day, and yesterday I sent one that disappeared too quickly, which I assume all of them do, and you both yelled at me for
I
it.
was like, don't fucking send me Snapchats. They're 2 seconds
Whoa, F
long.
words.
Because I can't read them. And don't bother sending them if I can't read them.
And then 10 minutes later, Steve said the same thing. I send like 1,000 a day.
They were all disappearing that fast.
I knew why, I think, because you sent me the one where you made your belly button a face. So I
I
assumed
don't
you
send that
lowered
to
it.
even Mike Bain.
You lowered it to 3 seconds probably.
No, I didn't touch anything. I wish that one was infinity.
You must have lowered it somehow.
I did.
But that was my assumption.
But
It's
yeah.
probably because I see you less than Eilise. I've learned to be kinder to you. Also, living with you via Eva, she would always like. Remember, you used to pitch me an idea, and I would shit on it so hard.
Yeah.
And Eva's like, "Can you
That's entertaining.
be nice?" And I've learned to like, you tell me something stupid that you'll never do, and I'll be like, "Yeah, man, let's try."
Yeah, that's all I need. And I'll let it go. Be like, yeah, I'm gonna, and then I go to sleep and I wake up.
I will say this, like, he's so good with the kids, like, so good, like, at home with them. Like, he's much more patient than I am, and I feel like he's like I feel like people are like, oh, leave your husband home with them, and they'll see how it is. Like, he's totally fine being home with them. Like, like if I leave, I'm not worried. He's got the like gist of it. The only problem is that he can't, because like he gets anxious and I feel like worried. He cannot do anything else. Like, if there's laundry or there's dishes or there's like something else, like he can't do it. Like he just can't do it.
We watch Bird.
And like he'll try to explain to me why he can't do it. And I just am like, all right, well, he's being good dad. I've given him a lot of slack in quarantine because it is what it is. But like every once in a while when I see all these snaps from him from the damn couch, I was like, you could fold the laundry from the couch. But I don't. I just let it go.
I can't
let it
because
go.
Jack tries to help me fold it. And it's not helpful. And I get upset. You have to go. What surprised you?
Yeah, Eilise, what surprised you?
I feel like I've always been on the go, so I'm like the opposite. Like I'm always going at things. We plan things out like a million years in ahead because we're always just with our families and friends and stuff, just busy. But I feel like I was surprised about how happy I was to just be with them and do absolutely nothing. And like,
it's true.
Like I like weekends where it's just like
learning about
us and doing stuff together. Like I just am like I'm like so happy just being around them, and I don't know. And like I think bedtime is like so different for us than other people because I understand like when people are home all day with kids, they just need a break, and like when it hits 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, they're like they need to put that kid to bed. Where like we work and I don't see them, so like they stay up so much later than other kids, but like I'm okay with that because I get to see them. And like vice versa, like a lot of the sleep training stuff, and our kids sleep great, so it's not really an issue. But they all say like, "Don't rock them." And I'm like,
I feel like
I want to though. Like I feel like I understand they'll sleep. Maybe they'll sleep better. They'll be easier to put down or like whatever. But like I like to do that. Like Jack would cuddle on me all day long. Maeve is like she'll hug you, but then she's like she does not want to be cuddled or anything, and that's hard for me. So I feel like you kind of like taper stuff, but like I feel like it depends on the kids too. But like I feel like I'm just happy like being around them. Where like I also don't have the luxury of staying home, which it could be totally different if I was like home all day with them.
Yeah.
I feel like we just uncovered that they made me busier and more anxious, and they made you more laid back. How weird.
Damn, life's all about balance.
It's gonna happen to us.
Government's coming to get you.
What else we got?
Do you have any questions for us? We can alternate. I know we threw that out there as a option.
Are you guys stressed about anything?
All of it. Just kidding. Yeah. I'm nervous to give birth. I've always had like a fear of dying during childbirth, so I'm scared. I'm scared of that.
I say that all the time. Like everyone talks about like prenatal care, but no one talks about the evacuation plan.
Yeah. I'm like, I can't even like watch or think about giving birth because it just stresses me out. So I just don't think about it.
Yeah.
I figure I'll figure it out when I'm there.
You'll do
I
it.
feel like people always scare you. And I like, you know, people definitely have had awful labors. I'm not that bad. I feel like I've been in worse pain. I think I've stubbed my toe and I'm
Yeah.
upset about it.
I'm like so sensitive though.
How about me?
Maybe it's a little bit
Yeah.
rougher, but you'll be fine.
I'm a very sensitive person, so I'm just
You're also kind of in like work mode. You're like, let's do this thing.
yeah. That's like here. It's just like you just kind of your body's like knows what it's supposed to do, so you just almost like takes over and you just kind of like lean into it. I'm stressed about what it's going to be like with the COVID stuff because my mom's a doctor, so she last week she was at a COVID clinic that they have set up in Allentown for people who are like not as who don't need to be hospitalized but still need to be checked. She's seeing some patients in office. She probably won't do the COVID clinic anymore, but there's a potential there. And his mom works, although she's not like interacting with people as directly as my mom is, but my biggest stress is like what is it going to be like in August, and what's the parameters going to be around them coming to see the baby. Like I'm okay with like our friends can't come, like that's okay, but like it like breaks my heart to think about like our parents not being able to like hold him, or if they're here they have to be in a mask and gloves, like just all of it just feels bad, and so it hurts my soul when I think about it too much, so I try not to, and just
I feel like I would try to be optimistic. Like I feel like I think August is actually going to be okay. Like I feel like I really am optimistic. I mean, I don't know if it's just unfounded, so. But I think it should be better.
At least to
some degree. At least to a family's extent. Like you can't probably bring like when May was 1 week old, we took her to Chad's Ford's Food and Wine Festival. Like you probably can't do that. Like you can't probably get in a crowd. Like you know what I mean? Like where like I feel like
family.
But family, I think will be fine. I really do.
Yeah.
And, I think you're smart and your parents are smart. Like they'll like monitor themselves every day, and like if they ever feel like something's off or if they're exposed and stuff like that. Like
I'm hoping that there's just like more testing available so that like at least Steve's parents, like they may not be directly with COVID patients. My mom may or may not be, we don't know, but at least for her to like get tested before, I'm kind of like, can you take a week off at least before around the due date just to be home, just to like kind of clear up anything. So that kind of stresses me out, but it's going to be what it's going to be, and we're going to just
power through it.
Whatever our pediatrician says is recommended is probably what we'll do. And so that stressed me out, but I think there's part of me that feels like I have expectations. I'm trying to like temper them, like, but they're also like in both ends. Like I feel like part of my expectation is like it's going to be horrible and suck, and the other part of it's like, or it's going to be like dope and we're going to love it. So
you're going to get a fun little baby out of it.
So not really.
Okay, so this is like so it was nice having people come over and you like want them to celebrate the baby. It is a little bit overwhelming. Like I feel like too, especially if you have the baby, because you're like trying to keep them on a schedule where like I don't know if you're breastfeeding, but like especially with breastfeeding, like they eat so often, you have to, even if they're not eating from you, you have to be pumping to keep your supply up. I was never really comfortable just breastfeeding out in the open, where like even like with my brothers over, I wouldn't like just start breastfeeding usually. So like I felt like I had to bring the baby to a separate room, and like they're not great at it for sometimes. So like and then like people are like, oh, I'm coming over, and like and some people will be like more than one in a day, and like and then you're trying to get your sleep. Like it is stressful. Like it's really stressful. Like there's almost like that positive that like you don't have to worry.
I don't have to deal with that. I know, honestly.
Schedule, get you on a schedule, like kind of feel comfortable at home.
And then when people do come over, you're
and then like
you're a little more set up.
I feel like it's not. I remember like I remember having like the thing like tell your mom she can't come over today. Like I just wanted a day where I was just like with the baby to like bond and stuff. Because I feel like you're going back to work at some point, like that was stressful to me. Like knowing like I had like X amount of days with just me and the baby. Like
Yeah.
that made me like a little stressed.
Yeah, everybody wants to help, but I can see where it's like encroaching and like our this to change our scenario the other way too. Like I don't see an end to me working from home anytime soon. So like I think through August and maybe beyond, like I'll be working from home anyway, potentially.
Yeah. So it'll be kind of nice. He'll be here with me.
What was the plan for? Oh, sorry, you have to go. Are you stressed?
Same shit. I'm stressed because Eva gets stressed, but I'm not much of a stressor. Like there's all these unknowns, but like, you know, I don't. The hardest part for me will be managing that Eva does care about other people's feelings.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll tell anybody, like, you ain't coming here, you're not gonna touch this baby. Like, I have no problem, like anybody.
Yeah.
But
See, he has strong feelings like that, but he won't say them, and then he like will say them to me later, and then it stresses me out. Where I'm like, dude, couldn't just
you're the muscle, and that's like I fear having to like mitigate some of that. You know, like Eva's concern is that like people will not be respectful of our wishes.
Not even. I think, but people are gonna like be upset and be like, "You're not gonna let us come" or stuff like
Yeah,
that.
it's me.
Yeah,
It's gonna be me.
Not personal, you know what I mean? Like if I get sick or
On your
Steve gets
window.
sick,
So that's, I mean, like the same thing for you guys. Like, I want to see your baby. I don't know. I don't know if I'll feel like you know what I mean? Like, regardless of how you guys feel, I don't know if I'll feel comfortable because God forbid that baby got sick and I saw them.
exactly.
I would be like, you know what killed me? People all the time, like non-COVID, would be like, I got a cold, but it's totally fine.
yeah. What do you
You're
mean?
like, maybe don't come near my baby.
You feel?
Like I felt like I also felt like I didn't have to explain myself. Like I just assumed like you don't feel good. Like you're obviously not gonna come see a newborn that's unvaccinated with no immunities, right?
Right.
You wouldn't do that. But people do. Like people don't see the harm in it.
I almost like that because I would like I do hate that like I don't want everybody I've ever met touching the baby. Like we would like I've seen people hold your baby. I'm like, why is that person holding the baby? Like, or I've been places where there's a new baby and they're like, do you want to hold this thing? And I'm like, no, I have
There
no
were
business holding
20
this baby.
people in my hospital room the night I gave birth
Yeah,
to
but
my dad,
also
and I couldn't even get out of bed, and I was watching him like a hawk getting passed around the room, like a hawk.
Yeah, there was like 10 people in that room when we came to see you guys.
Yeah, sorry
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
And like
You thought it was weird before though when I turned. People have been like, "Would you like to hold my baby?" Like, I wouldn't.
well, I thought it was weird when the parents would offer. Like, I think it's weird, like, the flip side. Like, I feel like it's weird, like, if random person's like, can I see your baby? Like, even when I'd be out, like, I would take them out somewhere to, like, Target, and someone would be, like, all up in there, and I'm like, can you, like, not breathe on my
Yeah,
kid?
especially now, post
Yeah,
COVID.
people love babies. I think I did that with like Jess's kids. We were like at a family party. Someone's like, "You want this baby?" I'm like, "No." There's 100 people here who really want to hold that baby, and I'm not one.
Yeah.
Spare the baby.
Your friend from work, you were like, "Do you want to hold a baby?" Like, if I drop that baby,
Yeah.
that's a problem.
I mean,
like, if I drop Pat's kids,
I feel like
Sorry,
it will
Pat.
be, I feel like in that sense, it will be kind of nice. Like, even when we had Jack in the hospital, I was, like, really happy. We had a quick, not Jack, me, we had a quick turnaround. Like, we were out within 48 hours. I think it was, like, 36 hours we were home. And I was so relieved because, like, I remember, like, trying to figure out how to breastfeed, and the lactation person was in with me, and, like, his grandfather was, like, waiting outside of the door to come see the baby, and, like, which is so nice because his grandfather was 90, but I was also anxious because I felt guilty because he was waiting for me, and then worried to finish up, but at the same time, I, like, really needed her help. So, like, it's just hard. I think there's going to be some pros and cons with it.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. There's like definitely some silver linings with the whole situation for of why it's cool because like being pregnant and working from home, like I said today, I saw all my clients from bed because it's just more comfortable for me. Like I don't have to wear uncomfortable clothing. Like all that stuff is like so nice, you know?
Yeah.
Like our second kid, I'm gonna be like, I have to wear like real clothing. It's like go places. This is like the worst. So
I was gonna go for a drive to like Jersey the one day. As you coming, she's like, "I can't make an hour drive. I have to pee." I'm like, "Yo, imagine if you had to go to work. You'd have to do an hour drive every day, twice a
my
day."
commute was at least on the way home. It was always like at least an hour or more. So
I like slept the worst when I was like in the third trimester. I slept better even having the baby than I did when I was in the third trimester. I was just so comfortable at night.
Totally. That's another thing. Like a lot of times, at least a couple times a night. This morning actually was like I woke up at 4:40, which was like pretty. I was like, oh, I'm actually pretty excited because usually it's like 2 or 3, and I cannot fall back asleep. At least, and if I do, it's like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And then I'll sleep. And because my job, like my hours start later, or my clients start later, like I don't have to like be stressed about like if I was working in office, I'd have to just get up and get ready and go and work all day, see clients after work. It would just been awful. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it worked out in some ways but it also like sucks because we can't see anybody and
Yeah.
you know, but
You know what this is also probably positive. I'm gonna give you some positives from not being exposed to the community. I don't understand what it is about being pregnant where people think that they should comment on your body. Like it never in society, if Matt walked outside, they'd be like, oh, your belly looks so big. Oh my God, your boobs look bigger. Like pregnancy for some reason invites people to say, let me tell you what looks different now. And like sometimes it's not so much fun. Like, do you know what I mean? Like
Crazy.
I feel like from someone who's just self-conscious in general, like when someone like is staring at you and then makes a comment about how you look different, like I had even like when they seem nice, like I had someone when I was pregnant with me, like see me when I was in the 3rd trimester, she's like, you look so much better. Like I saw you like a month ago and your face looks so big and like you look like really uncomfortable, but like your face definitely thinned out some. And I was like,
thank you.
Yeah, that's one of the wildest things to me how that works. Like I've had friends at work who get pregnant and like seeing how people treat them, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why would you like? I would never touch a stranger. Like, let me touch your belly. Like, why?
Yeah, I've had like
the only positive is like patients like in the hospital, like when I was pregnant, they would like work harder because like they didn't want to hurt a pregnant woman. Like so like I felt like people who would like normally be a good amount of assist were suddenly like minimal assistance and like they were like trying to
they're like don't hurt you.
That's funny. All right, my closing one for you is I'll give you a choice. You can either give us your best advice for us or send a message to future Avett Simon Garfunkel, whatever we call this kid. Matthew. Let's name him Eilise.
Yeah. Good name.
He's dope.
Name him Eilise backwards.
You go.
I'm gonna name him Francis Lisa.
I was like,
Yeah.
Good name.
Yeah. Frankie. I don't remember the first thing because we started.
Was
it advice or a message to the kid or both?
Oh,
Your country.
Eilise can go first.
So you're on the spot.
Like parenting advice?
There's no limits here.
I mean,
like parenting wise, I feel like don't worry about what other people think or like what other people are doing. Like I feel like that's hard sometimes because you like see, especially if you have people who are like having babies around the same time as you and like you compare the kids, you compare what you're doing, you compare how they're sleeping versus your kids are sleeping, you compare like what they're doing activity wise. Like I feel like then you worry like, are they delayed? Is there something wrong? Am I doing something wrong? Like I feel like the one thing I feel like I wish I did less with Jack and I'm doing less and I'm doing more with Maeve is not caring about the comparison of like my parenting as well as like them as individuals.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a really hard thing to do. And like, I still struggle with it, but I feel like when Jack was really speech delayed, I remember him lining up all the cars in a row and we were like, he's autistic. Like we were like, kept making him like kept messing up his cars. And we're like, you don't like them like that. They don't need to be
doing that.
And like, he would just find play and like, he's not autistic. And I look back and be like, wow, like he just liked them lined up. Like I feel like I would be like so fixed on like what he was doing or what other kids are doing and like someone else is talking better than him. Or like, you know, why is their kid sleeping through the night and my kid's waking up 3 times? And like I just feel like I feel like you'll be happier and you'll enjoy them more if you don't fixate on that.
Yeah.
I mean,
solid. You hear that, Christine and Jay?
I know our kids are gonna be like lining up. What's your kid doing this month?
Yeah, I didn't think of any good answers while Eilise was talking.
As expected.
It's okay.
Yeah. So some good advice.
What do you wish someone would have
send
told
a message
you?
to the kid?
I'm like, what do I wish someone would have said to me that I can impart on you? Do you edit this at all?
You know
Like
what
me
you,
sitting
you know
here
what
like
you say
this.
all the time? If you guys are thinking about
Would
the
you edit
second
that?
one, I feel like Matt keeps going, why were we so stressed out with Jack? Because they're like...
That's true. Something I had to say this to her a lot. Like in terms of like what she was just saying, comparing, and obviously Jack has like speech delays and blah blah blah, and like Jack doesn't like using a fork, and that used to like bug us out and stuff. I just always tell her, and I don't know if this will help you. Just remember, like, I don't know anyone that doesn't eat with a fork. Like I don't know anyone that doesn't chew correctly. Like
Or
they
eventually pee on the potty.
pee on the pie. They figure it out, and I feel like kids are. I feel like we're learning that they're all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Like Maeve is talking a little
You're a
bit,
smart one.
but she's not walking yet. And at this point, Jack was running,
And babbling at us. very
but
loudly.
not really talking. Like they're just everyone's different, but I feel like we
Yeah.
all get there. So just
Yeah, people get lost in the milestones. We've seen everybody with kids kind of worry like they're not gonna walk, they're not, and then they
just-
all, fortunately, it just happens at different times. It's
And
not like
Matt
there's
used to
no issue.
say all the time to us, like, too, like, it doesn't matter if something's not perfect with him. Like, he's still our kid. Like, we're not selling him on eBay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you still love him. Like,
So
does your
if
kid
you're
dress
not-
up in 7 costumes a day? We'll get you tickets to his front row and Broadway.
So funny.
Probably off Broadway, more likely.
Yeah.
He gets into costume design.
That's good advice.
Good stuff. Any closing questions, thoughts?
So, what are you gonna name the kid?
The front, we debate it. Like I've always liked. I have a list of a few that I like that Eva doesn't like. Simon is one. For no reason, I kind of like Nico. But I think we sort of not landed on, but like our current what we like is Avit, and it's like
I dig it.
a stupid name. It's like a obscure name, but it always coincides too. Like we'll see a live Avett Brothers thing like online and be like, yeah, dude, Avit's a fucking cool name, and it's just goofy enough. Like,
Yeah.
and I'll see a person with like a less goofy name. I'm like, I hate that name way more. I hated most people. Like every name along the way. Like I didn't like Nathan. I was like, okay. I hated Eleanor. Like I was like, that's such an old lady name, but like it's the like cutest name to me now.
Yeah.
It's just their names. Like I
You have to
didn't
apply
like.
it to a person.
Yeah,
Richard-
I didn't like Grayson. I'll jab everybody on this, but I just like it's not. It wasn't my kid's name. You know what I mean? I just like they're not names I would, but they're just
But it's
the
true.
name.
Then once they become that person, like
Yeah.
the cutest name ever for them.
No, that's them.
Yeah. I mean, we like Jack. We kind of were on board with me. We had a lot of back and forth with, and we really liked it. But like people to this day keep going, "You named her what? May? Neighbor? What? Wait, neighbor?" And like I'm like just like this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did you make that up? And I'm like, no, it's an Irish name. Like,
yeah, it's Irish. It's like being Siobhan and spelling it like the Irish way. Which is,
I mean, but on the flip side, I kind of don't like. I don't like that. So Jack wasn't as popular when we picked it, and now I feel like it's like top on the baby names, and I don't love that either. Like I don't want him to be the 7th Jack in his class. Like I like when they're
Good job.
different, like.
that's a big factor of like Eva's floated like Noah or Liam and things that coincidentally are like top 10 most popular names right now.
Yeah, true.
And
I
I've
like
always been like, you met me, and I was Steve H, because there was already a Steve.
Yeah.
There's a Steve Haldus, my dad. You know what I mean? So even that of like having a Facebook, like all the things that go with that. Like I get weird Facebook messages from old guys in bands my dad takes videos of. They probably think he's a dick because I just delete him and don't say anything. But like that's annoying. At work, I just started, and there's like 11 Steves. So I started at work going by Steven just because nobody else uses Steven, just to be like different. But
Yeah.
and the inverse is that Eva was unique growing up, and she could never find like a keychain with her name on it, which is
Yeah.
like a burned in scar of a memory.
Every
We've
time I
talked
think of
about a
name, I'm
lot on
like,
this thing.
These are great.
I
You probably could
try to
now.
find my name spelled right. It's just not happening.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
custom, you know what I mean?
But if we name him Avit, I'm like, every time we go to a concert, there'll be
Favorite merch.
merch with his
Oh,
name
yeah.
all over it. So
And according
Yeah.
to Pat, we'll name the second kid Brothers.
Brothers. I'm the opposite of you though. Like I don't mind the common name because I had such a common. Like you said, like I walk into an OR and 4 of the 6 people in there are Matt.
You're probably not even the only Matt S.
Oh no.
See, Matt doesn't like anyone thinking anything of him, like having higher standards, so Matt likes blending in, so no one expects anything from him. He doesn't stand out.
Maybe that's why you're such an amoeba. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I just don't look at me.
We'll see.
Yeah, so we'll see. It like grows on me more and more. So
we had to name we were gonna name Jack, Thomas, Steven, literally all the way up to like 34 weeks, and then we switched it.
Yeah, I'm trying not to overcommit because Eva's very like change her mind last minute. Like we frequently have the like debate of like she's like, what are we gonna do? I'm like, we had a plan. Like I told you exactly what was gonna happen, and we're not doing that now. So I'm not gonna overcommit to liking one and like have the rug pulled out on me. And this kid is named like something ridiculous.
So we'll see.
All right, we're gonna go to bed. It's 10:43 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In the future, that probably won't exist anymore. But
it's
way past bedtime. Wednesday night.
I know. We're usually in bed by now.
Damn, Mama's gonna sleep into like 9:45 tomorrow.
Bro, I wake up so early.
This is a commitment.
I don't sleep anymore. So I'm good.
Yeah.
And also, last thing, people who tell you don't use sleep after kids is a lie. Those kids sleep until 9 a.m.
Your kids are good sleepers.
Yeah.
You don't gotta do a whole other episode about how you guys got your kids to sleep.
What?
So we'll have to do a whole other episode on why your kids are such good sleepers.
I watched the Bill and Bobby episode. We were very similar to them. I think it just had, like we were saying, we keep them up later.
Yeah,
we work later. It's just, I feel like we did the same thing, but we like put it in.
What's more important to you, quiet time at night or sleeping in the morning?
And you both don't have like Beal has an out the door at 7 a.m. schedule, like to go do construction or whatever. So like letting them sleep later is just a little more conducive to you guys. I feel like so.
Well, conducive to him. We don't have to. They don't have to be up though. Like, we don't have to daycare. We don't.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it is the same thing. Like Nora's been going to bed at like 6:30. She's beat. They just, and they take that time in the evening.
Yeah.
Right.
Pay for it in the morning, and it's just.
That's exactly right. We don't have to go.
Jack wakes up, wanders into Matt's bed at 8 o'clock, and then sleeps till 9. And then he like wakes up and comes downstairs and I'm like, oh, God, I'm awake. Making pancakes.
I wake up. Jack's just next to me sleeping. I don't remember him coming there. Every morning he wakes up next to me. He has to cover me in pillows. Then we have to take pictures. This is my everyday. He gets into stuff for like 3 weeks, and it's like progressively more annoying, but then he breaks it, and then he finds something else.
Yeah, I'm excited for you guys. It's everyone. I feel like when you are having kids, people tell you like, oh, like for some reason, like awful things. I feel like only positive things. I mean, obviously they drive me crazy sometimes, and it's something, but it's definitely a game changer in a good way.
Really cool. We're trying to enjoy the last moments of like. I thought that the other night of like, never again is it that like total freedom we have. I'm trying to like appreciate it. We're like we went to the grocery store. Like it was like 9:30. Like it was like we're going. Last couple of times we went together, but like at 9 o'clock at night because nobody's there. So Eva literally touches nothing. She just walks with me and has the grocery list. But like we can never decide like, hey, it's 9 o'clock. Do you want to leave the house together right now?
Yeah.
Like we have to bring the baby. It's never just the two of us.
Yeah.
Can't like leave them.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised. I feel like because it's the first baby on both sides, your parents are gonna like be all over that. Like I feel like you'll luckily have the luxury, like hopefully in a calm down COVID situation, like be able to still like have that.
What were you? Do you know what you're doing for childcare, like in a non?
I think that
work world.
No, not we delayed it, and then COVID happened, and it's like I'm not gonna put him in a fucking daycare. Like in 2020, that ain't happening. You know what I mean?
So flexible jobs, though, you could probably figure it out. Like.
Yeah, my job is super flexible. And it honestly, like, Eva doing her private practice stuff, I just froze for no reason. Like, Eva's boss is going to watch this.
No.
Yeah. It's unlikely she will continue that job like
Yeah.
long term beyond the thing. So having that, Eva will probably do a lot of that, and then see her like her clients at night or on the weekend, or have like a day, or you know what I mean. So like we'll work out some kind of schedule where like we kind of skip that for a while until they're like a little older, and then they do a daycare vibe.
Yeah.
That's the thought. My mom like works for Fox Chase Cancer Center, and they were gonna get bought by Jeff, but then they didn't. And I'm like, bro, quit your job. You know, like what do you guys need money? The house is paid off, I think. Like
That's how we looked at that.
I tell her that. I tell her that literally. It's not a secret.
Yeah.
Hey, quit your job. What do you? Not,
Yeah.
Wait till next year because you know COVID. We got it, but
My mom was on the fence with retiring, and we told her about Jack.
She's like, I'm out.
She like, I think she handed in the papers the next.
I called
time.
her,
Like,
and
literally.
I was only 6 weeks pregnant. I just found out. I just had a test. Like that's it. No doctor's appointment, anything. I called her on the phone, and she screamed, "I'm quitting my job tomorrow." And I went, "Can we wait till we see like an ultrasound?"
She had like a deadline because
Heartbeat.
she had to finish out the school year and then never come back ever again. She had like a deadline to tell them like, I'm retired, I'm not coming back, and I think it was coming up.
Yeah.
Like, see
So,
ya.
worked out.
She's like,
So
she.
yeah, I was wondering that for you guys.
Our kid won't be hot with COVID, so if your mom's bored, we'll send her and put her in the game.
Well, I hope my mom doesn't watch this because I'm gonna get a call. Like they can drop. Why don't they drop the baby off here?
I'm gonna burn this on DVD and mail it to your house.
She what? Oh my god, she's
Why
meant
don't
to
they
be.
just drop the baby off?
Yeah. I can't wait till she comes back just because she does more during the day than Matt does. She does all their laundry for me. This 2 months has never been so awful. I come home and I have to actually do their laundry. I'm like, dude, bring her back. Bring her back.
I get treated different by those children.
She does the dishes.
The children don't respect.
She cleans up. She feeds Maeve and Jack more fruits and vegetables than some others.
It always scares me when like we talk about how Matt is like covers your ears incompetent in some ways. He's like he can only handle one thing at a time. It's like, what does he do? He's like, oh, he works in the OR. He helps with surgeries. It's like, oh, okay.
On a side note,
the only description my job is
will still never
multitasking.
get over that. Like we were married for 1 year and he couldn't see anything with driving. He always drove me everywhere, and like we were at the eye doctor, and the eye doctor literally came in during my eye examination to tell me how awful his eyesight was and how terrified she was that he was in the OR.
Yeah, but now I look like a nerd.
Yeah, no two people have been driven more by him than me and you. And like,
He's been blind the whole
I drove
time.
Steve to the Pacific Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico.
and he'd be like, I'll look up, and he's like texting. He's blind. That's why it's so close. Driving with one knee.
He's eating. He's like, he was eating a sandwich the other day with both hands, with both kids in the back seat, and I was like, you better hold on to that steering wheel. Like we're all in the car, and he was like, I got control.
Yo, kid, if you say, what do I need to know about
Probably
Matt? He's the kind of guy that needs to eat a sandwich with two hands. What is that about?
It dumps all over you while you're trying to drive. Gets on my knees. Those are my driving
That's
knees.
part of the diagnosis for space autism is you need both hands.
I don't have space.
My dad was driving me down the shore once, and he ordered like KFC, and he got mashed potatoes. He ate mashed potatoes while he drove. That's a fork and hold situation. Like
I eat mashed potatoes all the time while I drive. Go to Wawa, you get the bowl with the mashed potatoes, mac and cheese, with the chicken strips on top.
So reckless, all while blind.
On that note,
Love you guys.
He doesn't need to go to the
It was
OR.
good. Best episode yet. Total pandemonium. No edits.
No edits. I made a Mai Tai for this.
Just joy. Nice.
What would you even edit, Jeff, Matt?
Yeah, I would edit all the parts Matt went, are you going to edit this? Which was like 3 times. Wait, are you going to edit this?
I almost said the name of the place where I work, and I got worried that like this people would watch this and fire me. So.
For drinking a Mai Tai without grenadine.
Yeah, for following the rules in all scenarios.
For calling out that guy.
The
conspiracy.
Yeah, this is going to be on some weird back channels for that guy. All right. It's bedtime. Love you guys. Thanks for doing this.
thanks for
having us.
hang in there.
You hang in there.
Yeah, seriously.
We're fine.
I know. Watch Netflix for me.
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
Tearing through.
August what? August what?
9th.
9th. And Jay is August 8th.
Are they going to be on it? Who else do you guys have on up on your list?
Everybody's on the list. We're at the point of not like having anybody queued up. Pat, like, is his computer broken this week? I don't know. Like, their schedule wise, that'll be hard to do. I want to do a episode with like the guys, like a dad episode. And I think we're probably at the point where we can start getting funky and like, let's have you and Beyond Bobby and whoever, like, let's talk about sleep. You know, let's talk about like
The sleep.
parenting ones. And so yeah, I think we'll start getting tricky. Like, we're gonna have like probably Natalie on. We just did Aaron. Like, we're getting there, like running through folks, but Jay and Christine for sure.
I have thoughts on every topic that you sent. I just couldn't pick just one.
Sorry, you can come back.
It was a good one.
Have me, just a series, 1 week, just talking about each one, just one by one.
And I could do this podcast. I haven't seen you in 7 weeks. I'm really for sure.
And you learned something about each other. Now you can talk about it.
Thanks. We're going to discuss it.
That's on the after show.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right, guys.
Recording.
We're gonna stop recording.